Today, I'm showing you how to make and bake the perfect 12-inch New York style pizza in any home, gas or electric pizza oven. In my case, I own the propane-fired Gosney Rockbox and electric Titoven pizza oven. Preheat these on high for 45 minutes. And in the meantime, these Bianco di Napoli crushed tomatoes have a great texture for New York style pizza, as well as this Galbani cheese melts perfect. Here I'm using my Neapolitan Polish pizza dough recipe with 4% oil. The details are in the description. However, you want to flatten the crust out with no cornicione, and definitely for a thin crust pizza, you will have to cut part of the crust out. This is around 80 to 100 grams I am cutting out, but do not discard this piece of dough. Instead, cut it into 4 strips and hit that subscribe button, because today I'm giving you a bonus recipe for how to make these delicious garlic knots. These are addictive. So take 1 strip of dough, wrap it around your 2 fingers at least 2 to 3 times until you're left with an inch piece of dough. Get that end piece, tuck it in there, and make that knot. There you have it. It's that simple. To maximize their fluffiness, you can leave these resting for 30 minutes at room temperature. Now, you need to add 2 tablespoons of melted butter, 2 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil, 1 clove of grated garlic, a crack of black pepper, and 1 tablespoon of Pecorino Romano cheese that you'll want to mix together and add on top of these garlic knots before they go into the oven. This will give it a nice, cheesy crust. However, keep half of this mixture aside because we're going to want to baste them after they come out of the oven. Now when they're still warm, baste these garlic knots with that remaining butter mixture. Add some Parmigiano cheese on top. You could even add chopped parsley. I'm telling you, I can eat the whole tray here. These are delicious, addicting, and I can't believe you get garlic knots out of using 1 pizza dough ball recipe. So basically you get 4 garlic knots and 1 12-inch New York style pizza using 1 280 gram dough ball. So let's go back to that trimmed dough ball, and here we're going to make the smallest cornicione. It's probably half the size of that Neapolitan size cornicione. Remember that this will be a thin crust dough. Press the outer edges before even touching the center part of the dough. Now I will pick it up and do my usual move where I turn the car wheel round and round around 1 to 2 revolutions until it gets nice and thin. That's when I'll tuck my knuckles under and stretch from the inside out. Using a thicker sauce and a less watery tomato will help your pizza skills significantly. This way, your pizza will not turn out soupy when it comes out of the oven. I'm topping it with grated Pecorino Romano cheese and the shredded Galbani part skim mozzarella, putting it on the pizza peel, and as you can see, the Gosney peel is a little bit smaller. It's around 12 inches, and cooking in the rock box requires a little bit more time and attention. So after it was preheated to full flame, I then lowered it till around 700 degrees Fahrenheit. You will need to use low flame for this, and make sure you keep a good eye on the pizza crust because the back side cooks quicker than the mouth of the oven. So for a total of 2 minutes and 40 seconds, the dough baked inside the oven on low flame, but then I'll completely cut the flame off so the pizza cooks with the residual heat inside for another 30 seconds to 40 seconds until it's crispy, golden brown, and delicious. Check it out. So I decided to add olive oil before baking to give it that classic New York greasy look to it. The undercarriage is quite charred and beautiful. This Gosney Rockbox does cook a great pizza. Now we're going to switch over to cooking this 12-inch New York style pizza in an electric pizza oven. In my New York style sauce lately, I've been using dried oregano, salt, garlic powder, and onion powder. I don't use raw garlic anymore because it's actually too pungent in flavor. But just remember to use very small amounts of the powders. So after my Titoven was preheated, I lowered it down to 572 degrees on the dial, which made the stone around 660 degrees Fahrenheit. In the oven, the pizza baked for 30 seconds before I lowered it to 350 degrees Fahrenheit, and then I rotated it and continued to bake it for another 1 minute to 1 minute and 10 seconds. So that is a total of 1 minute and 40 seconds to 2 minutes long until you have this perfectly golden brown and crispy pie. So the rock box here, it came out to be really nice. Look at that little cheese pool. So the center part is a little bit fluffier, and that is due to the size of the oven. The Titoven happens to be a little bit wider than the Ghazni rock box, and that's the undercarriage I was talking about. Golden brown, delicious, with the nicest crunch, nice and thin. The Ghazni, on the other hand, it's got a more aggressive leoparding on the bottom, a little bit fluffier because the dough happens to be a little bit contracted, but I'm loving the results. This represents a New York pizza entirely, from the charred undercarriage to the toppings to the no flop to the cheese to the little grease on top, but the dough happens to be super digestible, flavorful, and delicious. Don't forget to visit the description where I will provide you with the full recipe on that no-flop New York style pizza crust. So the overall quality of the Titoven baked New York style pizza came out a bit more balanced, where the bottom crust is golden brown, the top of the ingredients are perfectly cooked. Comment down below, are you confident in baking a 12-inch New York style pizza in your home oven? Because after watching this video, I hope you gained some knowledge and I hope you learned from experience. Thank you for watching this video, and if you're just starting out baking, you can even use this 12-inch pizza screen where you put the pizza on this screen and into the oven with ease. It'll work just fine. I'll see you guys in the next video.